Hi, everybody. It's Diane Brennan. Welcome to my channel. Welcome back if you've been here before. And today I want to talk about why the scale is the absolute worst measurement you can have on a low carb diet, especially keto or carnivore, and what actually is the best measurement that you can use. Okay. The scale is irrelevant. And I found this out, years ago. My kids were small. So it was like 30 years ago. I was working as a delivery driver at Pizza Hut. And it was a lot of short bursts of activity, but I was still like I was gaining weight because I was eating a lot of, and I didn't know this then, okay? But because I was eating a lot of carbs, I was eating a lot of pasta because I was the daytime driver. So the lunch buffet was a huge amount of pastas and pizzas, right? And I ate leftovers off of the buffet when I came in on my break when the next driver got there. And a lot of pizza, obviously. Even at home, because I got a discount or I got to bring pizzas home from work, if we had mistakes come in and it was something I knew my family would like, etc. So I was eating a lot of that stuff. And I didn't know what carbs do to you at the time. I wish I had. But anyway, we had a walking track. It was a dirt track at a local park. It was a mile long around. And then there were trails there. So my 2 days a week off, I did trail walking. And the rest of the time, I walked the track. And I went down 3 sizes without losing a single pound because I was melting the fat off and and building more muscle. So I really, since then, have not paid a lot of attention to weight. Now, doctors use weight as their measuring tool because that's what they're taught. And they don't care about anything else. They have to be able to measure and weigh, they have to have measurements. They have to have these diagnostic things that they feel are really good. The scale means nothing. And honestly, using it when you are doing a low carb diet can cause you nothing but frustration and even make you start to just like give up and have setbacks because quite often that's what happens. You don't lose any weight, but you're losing fat. The best measurement is how are you feeling and how are your clothes fitting? Like I said, I had gone down 3 sizes. I just hadn't lost a single pound. And people will say that a pound is a pound when you tell them that muscle weighs more than fat. But the difference is really actually do a visual, go on Google Images and look. And there are images that show 5 pounds of fat versus 5 pounds of muscle. And the muscle is not half the size of the fat, but more like a third to a quarter of the size of the fat. So there's 5 pounds and then there's 2.2 kilogram comparisons. So depending on what your unit of weight measurement is that you work with the most and are most familiar with, but I mean, you can still see no matter what, right? I don't measure in kilograms, but I could certainly see that 2.2 kilograms of fat was way bigger than 2.2 kilograms of muscle. So you get a visual there. And the reason for that is because the muscle is leaner and denser, as the fat is this huge squishy thing. Okay? So they're not equal. Yes, a pound equals a pound, but the size is the difference. And that's what's happening to you as you are burning off fat. And then visceral fat is that hidden fat you can't really see that's around your organs. And the other fat is layered on top of it. The visceral fat is what you really need to lose. And there are ways to target that. And I'll do a video on that at some point. But just targeting fat in general. Eating a low carb diet, especially if you go carnivore, then you are really going to lose everything out of your diet that you don't need. And the fat is just going to melt away. And I actually eat a higher fat. Like I started shopping at Aldi's for my meat because I can get 72.27 ground beef there. So higher fat than the 80.20 that I can get at other places. And then their steak is grass fed. And I get 2 of those for the same price that I got 1 at the regular grocery store. So my meat and meat only. I go in and I buy 2 things at Aldi. I buy everything else actually at Walmart. And I don't, very rare that I go to Kroger now because I can get everything everywhere else. And there's very little that Kroger carries that nowhere else does. And the prices are better everywhere else. I'm just, I'm being smart when I shop now. So I get my meat at Aldi's. I eat a higher fat. If I feel hungry later in the day and I want a snack, I actually grab a teaspoon of tallow and put a little bit of salt on it, and that's my snack. And I'm going down in size because I tried on my jeans that are the next size down from what I've been wearing because my clothes are falling off me. They are literally starting to fall off me. I've had to start tying drawstrings. I don't normally tie the drawstrings on my shorts and long pants, and I have to now, or they're going to be on the floor, or at least they're working their way towards there as I walk. So I tried on those jeans, and sure enough, I am down another size. And there's my measurement for success. And my motivation. I'll tell you, when I'm tempted, I'm going through something really stressful right now, and it is tempting to reach for the sugar. Okay, I'm human. And this is good motivation for me. That's part of why I did it, because I figured either way it was going to motivate me, either because they were going to fit, and yay, and that's a great motivation, or they weren't going to yet, and goals, huge motivation. One way or the other, it was going to motivate me. The other thing I do is remind myself when I'm thinking of having sugar that I won't go out and eat arsenic intentionally, or hemlock, poison kind, or belladonna. So why would I eat sugar or drink it? It's the same. It's poison. Why would I poison myself? That is huge mindset shift that gets me out of that too. Okay. And then I'll go have like a cup of herbal tea, because it's the lesser of all the evils. It's still a plant. It's still not the greatest, but it's better than giving into those. And I'm not doing it like several times a day like I used to. I used to drink like 3 cups of herbal tea a day. Now I drink maybe 3 cups a week of herbal tea. Most of the time, all I drink is water. And then I use salt and a product called No Salt, which has 2 kinds of potassium in it. And that's it. And steak and hamburger. So it's paying off. I'm feeling better. I have more energy. I'm getting out of bed with more spring and more energy, more of a positive attitude now when I wake up, not sluggish, not, oh, can't I sleep any longer? No, I'm like rolling out of bed and like, okay, I'm ready to face my day. It does help that I lay in bed first and do a full healing session now. I have the ability to relax and do that because my schedule's my own. I'm not on anybody else's except 1 day a week when I go see my grandchildren, and I just get up an hour earlier so that I can still do my schedule. But it's the feeling better in general, having more energy, feeling more like I can do more, tackle more. And I think these mobility exercises I'm about to start doing, this program I'm going to go through that starts today. The first call about it is today, where I'm getting an evaluation. Then things will go from there, and I'll be feeling even better as I gain back some stability and balance, and I free up fascia and unlock joints and muscles, and I can move more freely and easily and have better balance. So I'm turning the clock backwards and I'm losing weight, and there is how you measure your success on a low carb diet, especially keto and carnivore, but paleo too. Throw out your scale, or at least tuck it somewhere and totally ignore it for months. Don't get on it, because it's not, it's just not the way to know how well you're succeeding at what you're doing. So I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope you found it helpful and informative. I really encourage you to do that search and look at the difference pound for pound between fat and muscle, and why everybody says muscle weighs more than fat. Like I said, it does. It's denser, it's leaner, and it has less mass. Much love, much light, many, many blessings, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.